how you can boost your metabolism. So when you feel those dips in energy, you're like, wait a minute, I have the tools to give me an energy bump. You don't need bands. You don't need weights. What would make you say it's the best holiday season ever?
I feel like everything looks so bare when you take all your decorations down as you transition from one holiday to the next.
But great news is that now it's time for Christmas time. Okay, are you someone that goes right from Halloween straight into Christmas, or do you keep your fall stuff up? Do you have like Thanksgiving things? I still love a good Thanksgiving tablescape, but we travel a lot during November typically, and so I want to experience that little like twinkle and glow that the Christmas lights bring the house. I love sitting having my coffee with just the Christmas tree on in the morning. I love wrapping up the end of the day with just the Christmas tree on at night. So I'm ready to transition into full-on Christmas this first week of November. Actually, it's October 31st right now, and I already took down the Halloween stuff, only in the inside, because I know this week's gonna be crazy because we have our team retreat where the whole team, all 13 people coming together one place at this beautiful resort in Texas. So I had to plan in advance. I was like, I gotta get ready for Christmas. But that's not actually what I'm talking about today. I wanna chat about how you can boost your metabolism over the holiday season, where you can feel that it's revved up, you can maintain progress, you can honestly even get into a better body composition if that's your goal without feeling deprived over the holiday season. So I wanna share my 4 super easy tips to execute this holiday season. And with a little bit of mindfulness and a little bit of intention, you can go through the season feeling absolutely amazing, not feeling deprived at all, and also maintaining or gaining progress. Number 1, the more movement, the better for the holiday season. You are gonna be pulled a lot of different directions during the holidays. A lot of different environments you'll go in and out of. A lot of different dynamics of relationships. A lot of different social events. And so some things are gonna be out of your control. Emotions might be out of your control. Maybe food and drink at some places is out of your control. But what is in your control when it comes to this season is movement. Movement, remember, tells your body that you're a thriving individual, not a surviving individual. During the holidays, we can feel like it is survival mode, right? There's so many moving parts. We feel spread too thin sometimes. We feel like, oh my God, there's only so much capacity I can give of myself with the resources and support that I have right now. But movement is a great reminder that when you need a dopamine hit, when you need a feel-good feeling, when you need more mental clarity, more mental focus, like movement is so readily available and accessible to us, and it gives you all of those feelings. So as soon as you start to feel like you're being pulled out of alignment with yourself, with being at peace with yourself, when you feel like, man, I feel burnt out, I feel overworked, like do some movement. The best way to boost metabolism is that movement, right? That movement makes you want to move more. That movement makes you want to eat single ingredient foods. That movement wants you to stay hydrated, to get more sleep. So it is a beautiful way to boost metabolism during the holiday season, and it doesn't have to be hard. This is where you can go all in on body weight exercises. So if you're traveling a lot, if you have family coming to visit you, if it's harder to get to the gym, if it's darker out, if you have too many social events, it doesn't matter. Your body is a great example of doing body weight exercises to increase that movement. So push-ups, body weight squats, lunges, split squats. You can do crawling variations, any type of core variations. You can do bench tricep dips. Your body is a great tool to get more movement in without having anything needed. You don't need bands. You don't need weights. Like, you just have to move more and feel better. And then obviously any type of low impact cardio. If you missed my walking video, I'll drop that in the description. But walking is a powerful tool. Walking reminds you of how big this world is. So if you start to feel some overwhelm or anxiety during the holidays, and you want to boost your metabolism and you want to increase those calories, do it from a low impact, low stress state. And that's exactly what walking does for you. And it's easy. You put on some shoes, you jump on a treadmill if it's freezing cold, or you go outside. It takes no prep at all. It allows you to reduce anxiety, to go back to that thriving feeling. And again, more movement, the better when it's low impact, because it keeps your stress levels down. And that means more calories burned during the day without causing any additional stress to the body. It is probably the best form of exercise that you can do in a very stressful, busy, emotional state. And we all know during the holidays, that can happen. So tip number 1, movement. I would say, if you're asking, well, how many times do I move in a day? Whenever you feel like you're having a little down part of the day or down part of the season, just move. Make it simple. Make a goal to do 30 bodyweight squats a day, 30 push-ups a day, 3 different core drills a day. That's gonna be so much to keep you in alignment with yourself. And then for steps, I would say if you can set a goal for yourself, right? Especially during Thanksgiving to Christmas, when we know things can get crazy, we know there's a lot more food and drink, there's a lot more social gatherings. If you can get 10,000 plus steps in a day, you are gonna feel so amazing come January, making progress, making gains, and boosting metabolism. That's tip number 1, move more. Okay, so it probably won't come as a surprise to you, because if you watch this channel, or honestly if you follow anybody health and fitness, there's a few different things that help boost metabolism. There's a few different health and fitness behaviors that eventually, if they're autopilot, you will identify with someone who is physically and mentally fit. So tip number 2, increase your protein over the holidays. There's going to be a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of fat at a lot of different social gatherings, and probably a lot of drinks too if you're celebrating. And so with that being said, those foods sometimes can cause more indigestion, more bloating. It can cause more sluggish type feelings because they're not as satiating of the nutrients. They can also cause us to be more hungry, even though we've probably had well over the amount of calories that we need. But when we're hungry, we're gonna keep searching for more food. And so there's 2 different things you can do in order to regulate appetite over the holidays, plan around social events better, and keep your metabolism revved up. Number 1, increase your protein intake. And so if you know you're gonna have a lot of social gatherings where the protein intake is probably gonna be low, because again, it's mostly carbs and fats, strategize your day around protein sources. Or if you're traveling a lot or you have a lot of moving parts, whether it's volunteer work or having a lot of family over, make sure you have ready to go proteins with you at all time. Whether they're like non-perishable ones that you can travel with you on the go, where you're going all these different events, or ones that are easy and readily available in the refrigerator or in the pantry. And so protein, the beauty of it, and why I'm saying it'll increase your metabolism, is it takes 20 to 30% of the actual calories from protein to just digest and absorb it. So you eat it, and then it's going to take a percentage of the amount of calories from that protein you eat just to break it down in your body. That is huge. That means you're just burning more calories. So if you increase your protein intake over the holidays, you're gonna burn more calories just by eating food and just strategizing foods that are going to fill you up, that are gonna rev up your metabolism, and that are the building blocks of pretty much everything you need in your body. So protein takes 20 to 30%. Let's say it was 100 calories of protein. You had 25 grams of a protein source. 20% of that 120 calories just was burned alone, revving up the metabolism from eating the protein. Now here's the interesting thing. Carbs and fats, they're way less than that. And so carbs take about 5 to 10% of its own caloric intake. To break it down, fats only 0 to 3. So just by creating mindfulness around what you're eating over the holiday season and strategizing the protein, you can burn calories. So I've already started prepping because we got family coming in November. We have a trip to Miami in November. We're hosting Thanksgiving. We already have so many fun things lined up for December. We're gonna go to Dallas for this Christmas extravaganza. We're doing Polar Express there, but there's also this hotel called like the Gaylord, and we're gonna go snow tubing and gingerbread cake making, and it's like an ice walk. It's gonna be amazing. And then we have this awesome thing called, it's a light show at this coffee shop called Mozart's, and we're going with like 4 different families. There's just so many fun things, and it's gonna be a lot of food and drink. And so I'm like, okay, how do I make sure I always have stuff readily available? Protein bars are probably the easiest way for me to have things readily available. And I'm still into the Robert Irvine ones, and I ordered this massive pack. So in it, it has, oh, have you guys had this one? The milk and cookies. So this one's milk and cookies, okay? I went ahead and got the mint chip, because you can't go wrong with that. And then his original like peanut butter one is in here too, okay? But I ordered those off Amazon, so I have plenty. They sell them at Costco. But this way, I have something that is actually, they're pretty good in carbs and fats. They're a little bit lower, and they're pretty high in protein. And then I'm trying this new flavor, which is, it was a special one for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it was a strawberry strudel. So I thought that looked pretty good. So I have protein bars always readily available with me on the go. I love Chopsticks or Jack Link's jerky. And then I've been having this one from Target, the Crave jerky. I feel like those are the easiest ones when I'm on the go. And then at home, you've heard me talk about staple proteins, right? You have Greek yogurt, string cheese, cottage cheese, any type of lean meat source, white fish, tuna fish. Like, it's easy. You just have to think ahead. And then you think about the days that are gonna be really calorie dense at social events. And outside of those, you're like, hey, I'm gonna keep it light and tight today because I'm gonna have a lot of calories at this event, but I will eat protein leading into the event. There you go. Tip number 2, eat more protein, increase your metabolism. Okay, again, tip number 3, it's probably not gonna be a surprise. Stay hydrated. Like, drink as much water as you possibly can. My recommendation is if your normal amount you drink, let's say, is 80 ounces, I would bump that to 1.5 times to 2 times your normal amount during the holiday season. How is this gonna help boost metabolism? Well, first, a lot of times when we're dipping in energy, we think, oh, okay, I'm overly stressed because of the holidays. I'm not sleeping as well because there's all these things going through my head that I want to get done. And so we think immediately when we dip in energy that we need food. Generally, we're just tired and dehydrated. And so having water readily available really does help to increase metabolism. There's also a lot of research that says if you drink about 20 to 30 ounces or just water first thing in the day before anything else, before you consume any different calories, that's an immediate boost to metabolism. And so water, again, like your body for movement, the most easily accessible type of nutrient or type of resource around. And so I bring my favorite cup wherever I go. I think I've already said this in multiple calls. I have a cup in the car. I have a cup that stays at home. I travel no matter what with my go-to cup. Here's what it is. If you actually have it on you, the more likely you are to drink water. So when you feel those dips in energy, you're like, wait a minute, I have the tools to give me an energy bump back up and to not overeat in calories. You just have water. Now, sometimes during the holidays when your energy's dipping, a great idea is to have electrolyte packs on you. You can do the liquid IVs, you can do Mio, they have electrolytes. I just have like the Gatorade Zero ones. And with the flu season going around, and you don't want to probably get that during the holidays, having electrolytes is always a great idea. And so for water, 1.5 to 2 times your normal amount. If you don't want to do that every day because maybe it's cold where you live and you're like, I just can't handle it, around social events, water will fill you up. First off, that's great. Water will keep your energy high, but at social events, we are gonna have a lot of food and drink we don't normally have, causing a lot of inflammation, possibly water retention or bloating. Water flushes water. Remember that. Water flushes water. And so those are the events when you know you're gonna have a lot of things outside of your norm. Drink water on those particular days. 1.5 times the day leading before it, the day of, and the day after, and it'll help whoosh that water weight right away. So always have your water readily available. If you're not even sure how much to start with, half your body weight is in ounces is a great start, or even 1/3 if a half seems like unrealistic to you. But water is number 3. Water literally will give you a boost in energy, which will make you want to do more things like movement, which will increase your metabolism. Okay, so my 4th tip. Actually, this is one that is a little bit different. Manage your stress better. When our stress is high, our body doesn't function or operate the way it's designed. It does that appropriately though, right? If we're high stressed, your body is going to respond in a way that it is supposed to due to that stress. If your stress is high though, your metabolism is going to get impacted from it because your body goes into more of that survival mode, right? We've all heard it like back in ancestry days, like how it works with the saber-tooth tiger and how adrenaline kicks in and your cortisol shoots up because you have to run from danger. Well, our body can't perceive anything different from stress of a deadline at work to stress of getting presents ready to stress of throwing a social event. It has no idea. It doesn't understand. But you understand that and you know how to manage stress the best way that you see fit. And a great way to start by understanding stress is in this particular season, holiday season, in this particular season of your life, maybe you're a busy mom, maybe you're a busy working mom, maybe you have littles, maybe you have ones that are already out of the house. It doesn't matter, but what can you give of yourself this season? Realistically, expectations we set sometimes are too high. And as a result, we experience burnout and we experience that high stress that causes physical symptoms to pop up. It causes emotional and mental stress on us. And so we have to be very aware of what we can give in any particular season with the support systems you have and the resources available. And the way that I see it is, if I have the tools to somewhat manage stress, the tools to somewhat lower expectations, to really ask myself what I want out of the holiday season, then I'm gonna go in feeling more in control, go in with more mindfulness, go in with more peace, and go in with the realization that, like, hey, I can't do it all if I also wanna be present, if I also wanna be healthy, if I also wanna be fit. And so I lower my expectations in some areas during the holidays so I can still get my movement in, so I can still make sure I prioritize my meal prep and have protein readily available, so I stay hydrated, so I get good sleep. And so those are easy physical stresses we can manage on the body. Mental and emotional stresses, I get it. They're gonna come and go during the holiday season. But the physical stressors, we are in the driver's seat of those. We control those. And so that's going to help with your body not going into that flight or fight mode all the time. You can keep your stress levels at a minimum or at least moderate, which is really going to help with your metabolism staying up. It's not gonna be freaking out because of all the stress you're putting it under. So I would really take some time, put pen to paper, figure out, what do you want out of this holiday season? What do you want out of it for yourself, for your family, for the people that you love in your life? What would make you say it's the best holiday season ever? And then what are gonna be your coping strategies for stressors during the holidays? Because if you actually go in with coping strategies, when it pops up, you're already prepared for it. You've already thought about it. You already know how to handle it, keeping your stress down. Like, people just don't think about that one, but that's the biggest reason why our body feels such stress and impact during the holidays. And if we can recognize it from the beginning, we can go through literally being in whatever body you want physically or mentally throughout the entire season. So that's tip number 4, manage stress. Okay, so that's all I got. My 4 easy tips to boost metabolism over the holiday season. And if you just execute on those, if you make those be your intentions this season, you are gonna come January feeling in so much momentum, but also so much peace with yourself that you did things to care for yourself. All right, so hopefully all those make sense. Oh, I almost forgot. On Tuesday, November 8th, so that's gonna be in about a couple days, I'm gonna be hosting a free workshop of how to not feel deprived during the holiday season and how to make progress or maintain progress. So basically a follow-up to this one, but a lot more detailed, a lot more strategy, a lot more skill, a lot more support, and it's completely free. So I wanna make sure that everyone in this community just feels like they know exactly what to do to fully enjoy this holiday season and enjoy your body as well. So if you're interested in that, hey, drop a comment below. We'll drop you a link to sign up. I'll actually put the link to the place where you can sign up to get the free Zoom link as well and the recording, and that'll be that. So that's what I got. Happy first start of the holidays. Woohoo!